I know what kind of builder he was. I'm not gonna say his race. He was Steve. Welcome to another episode of Gunpla and the Goonies. Almost got us canceled. Today we're bringing you a special episode with a special guest. But let me bring the boys in. Steve, since I pulled you pulled your leg. What's up, buddy?
What's going on, man? How are you?
I'm surviving, bro. You thought I was gonna say it. You thought I was about to go full Kanye on this.
Yeah, dude. Shout out to Kanye's new album.
It's so good. So good. Let me see here. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I'm gonna pick Goose to go. Oh, you like that? That was a bar.
What's up? How's it going? You guys' voices are hitting me better than any antidepressants could. Love to be here every week. Good to see you guys.
Oh my gosh. All right. And the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mean Mug. What did you do, baby?
Oh, it do. It certainly do be do.
It do? Well, someone is also doing us the honor of coming back as this is our first returning guest, right? Like, this is the guy who was like, listen, I guess I'll come back to your show. The one, the only, Gunpla Luke.
Good evening.
You should have said howdy.
Boy, howdy. How are you guys?
I'm just ecstatic that you decided to come back for, what is this, season 3? We still survived. We still made it. I know,
Yeah,
Steve,
they haven't
disappointment.
killed me off yet. They haven't killed me off.
Like that one character at the scary movie who, like, hey, I was in that first one, but now I'm in the second one. Like, bro, how'd you make it?
Finally saved up enough money to book him again. It was nice.
I know Taco Bell.
Yeah.
So many Taco Bell gift cards.
I've been sending this guy a cheesy gordita crunch for the past 6 months just to pay this guest appearance off. It's been crazy. DoorDash loves me.
You
Right,
better
they'll
be
have a
careful because
Patreon.
someone's going to take that seriously.
They're gonna be like, do they really pay him in Taco Bell to get on the show?
Legit, someone will probably take that out of context and be like, this man has been taking Taco Bell bribes from the Goonies.
Maybe, well, hopefully they listen to this episode and say, you know what, I have the etiquette not to do so. Because we look at that. You see how I just wrap it all together, put out a bow? It's not Christmas, but I'm rapping out here. Come on, stop playing with me.
Jesus.
I'm a little juiced up because we got Luke here, but I wanted to jump into what'd you guys pick up? You know what I mean, anything before we rock the boat?
I'm getting a master grade Luna Marie Zaku from Gunpla Stop. He's hooking me up with one. That's pretty cool. And then my Jillian's supposed to be here in a couple days from P Bandai, so I'm stoked for that.
Oh, okay. So I see you doing trades with the enemy.
Yeah,
going
you
over
know.
to Thunderbolt Radio. That's crazy.
Thundershock, or what was it called? Thundershock Radio?
No, Static Shock Radio. No, don't get it
Static
twisted.
Oh shit. Okay. Right, my bad.
Don't get it twisted, all right? This is my time. Shine, baby. But I like that. Muggs, did you pick anything up?
Oh my god, so much, dude. I got legit, dude. My backlog is screwed. Actually, I won't get into too much, but I got a food truck, a ramen food truck kit.
Ooh.
Yo,
I
Is that
got
for the
one.
Goonies car meet? That's what you're gonna do?
Yeah.
The ramen guy?
What do they call the Machine Krieger? The Fireball, one of the Machine Kriegers. So I'm stoked for that. I have never done anything like that before, so that should be fun.
Never done this before. Heard that before.
No, you haven't.
You're right. You're right.
Sorry, I didn't mean to call you out. So hard.
I'm nobody's first. That's right.
Ow.
Let's see. Oh, I got
Can't be
master
the
grade.
first, but you could always be my last.
Master grade
Yeah.
Guyan. I got the Pokeplog Gyarados. I got the real grade clear Zazubi, the real grade clear heavy weapons new Gundam. And the Zakupla is coming soon too, so I'm really excited to chew on those green tea nubs.
Ooh,
This shit ain't even Christmas out here, and he's got Just the massive
Fuck,
amount of
dude.
kits he's just picked up recently. What the fuck?
I don't know, man. And I'm pretty sure probably last year I was like, nah, kill your backlog. I'm never buying Gunpla again. I'm not buying any more kits till it's all done. But you know what? That was a lie.
That lie.
A lie.
That shit ain't nothing to me, man. I'll buy what I want. Goose, bro, did you get loose in your backlog? Did you pick up anything for the nest?
Negative. I've been pretty. Oh, no, yeah, no, I've been pretty off the buying stuff lately.
Okay, I see you saving money. You know what I mean,
Yeah.
putting in other expenses. I like to see that. Me, I didn't pick up anything, bro. I didn't do shit. But guess what? I did get blessed with some kits, though. Pay me in plastic, daddy. I'm a plastic princess. But yeah, you know, I'm gonna build the MGSD Barbados. Shut up! Don't you laugh at me.
It's true, dude. It's true.
It's
He's a
factual.
plastic princess.
I'm
I'm
proud.
jealous.
Bro. Princess Peach ain't got shit on me. All right, I'm just saying. But yeah, I got the MGSD Barbados as a form of payment, and the Wing Zero Verka, the big box one. You can get that at Hobby Lobby now, though, so be on the lookout. But yeah, other than that, bro, I'm gonna be doing some projects. Finally got my roots planted in my new state, so I'm about to start getting a spray booth soon, so I can spray it down. Start running this now. Audio 2020. Would it still be 2025? Yeah, 2025. That shit's
2025.
mine. Gunpla Goon, baby, GG. You know me. But enough about my little hyper rant. Luke, bro, did you acquire anything? Did you do anything cool?
So I have the Mark V coming out. I think it's next month, right? For
Okay.
Bandai. Really excited about that. I've become a huge Gundam Sentinel fan lately. And then I picked up the Lindworm on the last Bandai drop. Been waiting for that one to come back around, and I went ahead and copped it. Probably against my better judgment, but I really liked it. And so, yeah, I think so far that kind of completes my backlog sort of with everything I truly want. So that's kind of a good feeling, knowing that there's nothing out there trying to take my money anymore.
You just
Kind
see
of
Luke
scary feeling too, though.
getting
Well,
beat up.
Like,
Give me your money.
yeah, it's like so far, like if nothing else, comes out that I absolutely love, and you have maybe the next 5 years, and I'm out of the hobby. Like, there's my backlog will be out, and then I'm gone.
I guess it's the end of the road for you, huh?
Yeah, it's just it was a good ride. All the kids ran out.
Bro's
See you
got to
later.
send a resignation letter in. Be like, yeah, dear Instagram.
Dear
it was a good run.
Instagram.
Classes will be closing. If
For good.
for good.
But then I'm gonna pull like a Willy Wonka and open classes up again. Wait for it with golden tickets and Gunpla kids.
Bro said, I'm leaving. I'll be back. I'm leaving. I'm back again. Oh, okay. All
you
right.
see that all the time on social media, so
Oh,
Yeah, we do
just
that.
saying. Hey,
Yeah.
I'm not saying nothing bad, just saying. See that all the time.
I'm getting either, Steve.
I don't get it. This is new to me, man.
Shit ain't
It's
nothing
like
to me.
it's like when your favorite band's like, we're not doing anything anymore, and it's been like 10 years. Oh, reunion tour.
Yeah, these
But these
motherfuckers
dudes
be
wait.
waiting 2 weeks.
That's what I'm saying. Like, about 1 month. It's like 1 month back on Instagram. Let's go.
I think I was talking to somebody about it, and I was like, it's like the if I died, who would come to my funeral, like kind of thing. Just killing yourself on Instagram real quick.
It's
See how many
almost-
people see you out the door.
Bro's gonna see how many messages. There's not as many as the third time I did this.
I know. I'm
It's not the
back.
same.
A couple of views on
yeah.
that reel last time. Fuck.
So I don't get it, but
Yeah.
That's the word
bro.
about it.
It'd be 1 month. They're screaming, I'm back. It's almost like you never left. Hey.
See it? It's crazy. Nothing new came out.
I know the world
Congrats.
is actually like carried on.
Bro says y'all needed me. Really? I didn't know. It's new to me. I didn't know. Oh shit, man. Oh, I'm glad everyone's doing well. I'm glad everyone's spending money, not spending money. Goose, proud of you. But without further ado, we're gonna get to the real point why we bought so many cheesy goodie to crunches for this man. social media etiquette, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Listen, don't you laugh at me. All right, don't you laugh at me. Take this shit.
Just
My
know
mom.
someone's gonna DM me.
I listened to your latest episode on the Goonies.
I can't believe you. Unfollow.
My money isn't good enough, but Taco Bell is. Okay,
Confirmed.
unfollow.
Let's see. I got a $300 Taco Bell gift card and a high grade Death Hotel TV version for a shadow class. Let's go, baby.
Oh my god.
God, I'm
Okay.
tearing up. I'm
Sorry
tearing
to
up.
derail
It's okay. This is our podcast, bro. We do what we want. They look at us and like, look at those degenerates talking about cool topics over there. But yeah, bro, social media etiquette, man. The good, the bad, the Baja Blast. Uh, yo, listen, I'm on a roll tonight, baby. Don't play with me. People wanted me on their team, and now I'm running the Goonies, baby. No, couldn't have me. Sorry. But yeah, Muggs, you're awfully
Yeah.
quiet over there, my guy. What you
I don't know, man. I ain't got nothing. I got nothing.
what you building right now?
Master grade gym. Sorry, my podcast etiquette is awful. My social media etiquette, however, is I
See-
don't know, 6 or 7.
How would that's a good way to start it. How would you rate your social media etiquette for yourself? Muggs gives himself a 6 or a 7. Steve, give yourself a low number because I know that.
Yeah, you already know that was coming 3, dude. I'm terrible on the fucking internet. I don't just, yeah, dude, like, I'm awful at answering messages. I'm kind of bad at replying, and, like, I just don't pay attention to it as much as I probably should. And I don't post the things that my profile promotes, so
We know.
I know.
Oh yeah.
Be sitting in that shadow ban realm often. I got like it's like getting a campsite every year, you know? I just reserve a campsite in the shadow realm. Shit is ridiculous.
Bro is the Bakura of the Gunpla universe right
Oh,
now.
For
bro.
real, dude.
Constantly in the shadow realm.
I'm sitting there, yeah, but honestly though, probably like a 3. I mean, like, I'll be friendly to people. I'm not like a straight up dick, but like I'm a little too ironic, I think, a lot of times. Not sure if people could read me.
Do you think they're scared to approach your page? Like, do you think they're like,
Nah.
oh man, XXL new type?
I thought you
scared
just
to
think I'm an
approach
asshole. Like, probably what they think.
I've heard about it.
Goose, bro, what would you rate your social media etiquette?
Okay. Well, if
Okay, we're going here.
if I'm gonna assume Luke and Goon here are 10s on the scale of etiquette.
Yeah.
If Muggs is putting himself at what, a 6 or a 7, and Steve, you're putting yourself at a 3, that puts me at like a fucking 4.5 to 5, if that. Probably in between the two of them.
I think
I
you're
try,
right, man.
I try to be, I hold myself higher than that, but the opinions of other people might knock that down a little bit. But, you know, that's whatever.
I think you're doing very well. I would rate you maybe like a little bit higher, maybe like a 7, 8. You always put people's stories up. You're always looking for new builders, sending
Try.
cool posts and stuff. So no,
I'm
give
trying to
yourself a
follow
pat on the back.
everybody on Instagram that goes Gunpla, okay? I don't know about y'all. I don't know if
Mm-hmm.
y'all supporting the community like that, but I'm out here.
We out here, baby. Listen, I think Gunpla Luke is a 10 out of 10.
10
We'll
out of 10.
recommend, all right? Like, that guy. If you
I
have
don't
any
know.
questions,
I don't know. Some
What do you
things are
mean?
slip through the cracks a little bit. I mean, I don't answer everybody, and it's mainly because, you know, I'll forget. I'm human. I'm busy and stuff like that. But I'll usually hit you back maybe a couple of days later. I'll remember or something like that. But no, I try to respond to everything as much as I can. Feel like it's not that hard of a thing to do.
I like that. I like
Life
that.
gets busy though, man. It's hard to fucking answer everyone. Like, I can
Yeah.
only imagine.
Yeah.
Some days get crazy, man. Like today, for example, like anybody who went to ODO, their whole messages and DMs and getting tagged and shared and all this shit is just like over fucking whelming. So like some days it's like boom, you're right there. Like
Mhm.
replying back, and other days it's just like way too much to like handle, and that's even just like personal stuff too. Like, you know, you may have something personal going on, so it's hard to respond back. But
Yeah, and I mean, the three of us, we have like what 2,000 and less followers, 10,000 plus followers. I'm pretty sure the inboxes and the DMs are just overflowing. So I could never hold it against even my friend Goon here if he couldn't get back to me.
I can never relate. I don't know what you're talking about. I can never relate, bro.
also, just so
it-
everybody knows, Luke is. He DMs me right away, right back every time. So everybody out there, just so you know, if he's not DMing you right away, it's probably because he doesn't care about you as much as he cares about me.
yeah, dude, he's like, yeah, you know, yeah, bro, you already know.
Well, so like, you know, like when people follow me, I try to go back and review like who follows me to see like what kind of account they are. Like if they're Gunpla account,
Mhm.
like I'll follow them. But if I don't get around to it, then if somebody messages me, it just goes into the request folder.
Yeah.
So I have to remember to check that. And so like if somebody that I don't follow or anything messages me, and I don't follow you either, like I forgot or something, then yeah, it usually goes in the quest, and if I don't check that for a couple of days, then you know things kind of lag behind in that area. Which I hope that's
I feel that.
understandable to people.
Yeah, dude.
Dude, that's like I always say, man, like life is always going on behind the scenes. Like no matter like what
Right.
I got going on, I always got to be conscious that everybody else has something going on, and it's like I can't assume that everybody's on Instagram all day long every fucking day, and it's like, you know, even if they take a day or two, it's like, you know, whatever. You just got to be patient. You can't be mad at somebody, especially in that space for, you know, having to take some time to respond back, especially being, like I said, probably, you know, requests and people hitting you up and questions and all types of stuff like that. So,
Well, like it's weird because like you know as you get like I think it's in anything, not in social media or anything, but like as you get bigger, like in whatever your subject matter is in, the tighter the scope is on you and like whatever you do. So like if you're start getting up there and you don't message Joe Blow back, then all of a sudden like you're an asshole who doesn't care about your like your
Yep.
fan base or whatever. And it's really easy for that to happen. Um just because like like the larger you get, the more of a microscope you're underneath, other than like on vice versa, not so much, you know.
Well,
But
I would still say
oh,
so. I feel like it's almost even more fucking insult. Well, I shouldn't say insulting because, like we said, everybody gets shit, but it's still as bad as if you like DM somebody or, you know, give props to somebody and you don't hear back from them and they are a smaller account. Then it's kind of
Yeah.
like, okay,
Okay.
like what's your shoes kind of
Yeah.
I guess.
What the fuck you got going on?
I say he made me think of a fucking stand just right there. Here's to Mr. I'm the good to color right back my face. This is the loudest cheer I'll ever give your ass.
Well, and it's also, dude, like social media is incredibly exhausting at times, man, and it's like even for people who enjoy it and stay up on it, it can be exhausting. For people who just like Goose, for example, always talks about how his page is very much just an archive of his work, and some people take that, you know, 3 or 4 steps even further. They're just throwing their work up. They're not hashtagging it. They're not really like following a lot of people. They're not doing that, and so it just takes a lot of like I don't know, like kind of reading between the lines and not taking stuff personally, whether they're big or small or anything, and just try to like find your niche, your little group of people that you do like get along with and that you do appreciate, like, oh dude, you took the time to get back to me, like that's awesome, man, and then like continue that dialogue or whatnot. But it's just one of those things where it's not necessarily like a bad thing, or you know, you can't really hold it against anybody if they don't, you know, interact or respond very much with you, because it's I can say like 9 times out of 10 it's not fucking personal, because most of these accounts aren't they're not your personal accounts. You're not
Right.
necessarily just sharing personal information on there. They're Gunpla accounts, so like you can't, you know, you really can't take it that personally.
I mean, it also kind of shows you to navigate through the waters as well with social media, especially when to take things seriously or when to just, like you said, let things go. I think some people take it a little too serious, especially when it's just us building plastic robots, and like you said, it's some people just post their shit to just post it and just leave it alone.
And that I guess too, that's a good part of etiquette, I guess too, is like how you digest it and then how you regurgitate that, I guess is the best way I can say it. Because imagine some people, they allow just like, okay, I'm into this hobby, I'm doing this hobby, okay, I'm going to get on Instagram, and now I'm going to let this interaction on Instagram impact my ability to appreciate this hobby or, you know, enjoy this hobby. So, I mean, it's like, well, you know, you shouldn't really have to deal with that. But I mean, also just taking things out of context or just like taking, you know, maybe criticism the wrong way or whatever. There's a way you got to go about it to yourself to be smart enough to like not take everything like too seriously, you know? Like it is a hobby, just have fun and enjoy it. That's like yeah, just taking things too seriously is a way to just make it a bad day for everybody.
I mean, and that's also with the engagement as well. Like you said, it's you go about I think we were talking about it earlier before we started getting on here, Luke, how some people are expecting immediate recognition. Like I just made an Instagram page, I follow maybe 100 people. You guys should be following me back and liking everything I do. And it's like seeing that, it's like you have to, I feel like at a point where understand that we're all doing somewhat the same thing. Maybe some people are just perceiving it differently or have different tastes with it, but I feel like we see that a lot with a lot of new builders in some ways, an aspect where it's like they'll like all your stuff and like I only like maybe like three things, and it's like, well, you're not reciprocating the same thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. It's definitely like whatever you put in, like you'll receive kind of deal. Where if you're not really putting in, I mean, don't expect, you
Yeah.
know,
You're not
anybody
going to
do any
get that back.
favors. Yeah, because you know we're like you said, we're all out here doing a lot of the same thing, and kind of one of the ways I guess you could like people can stand out besides like either like the style or quality of their work or post is how you interact with everybody that interacts with your stuff. And so like like we were talking earlier about like rating your social media etiquette. Like that is, I guess, would be one way that I stand out a little bit would be social media or like how I interact with other people, like commenting back when people comment, stuff like that, and reciprocating back the effort that people are giving to my stuff. And um yeah, so expecting unearned respect is a hard pill to swallow. And I think about the only way to break down that barrier is to just actually start participating.
Yeah.
Well, and remain humble in the process too.
100%.
Because I will say when I first started, it felt like I'm putting in all this effort and then I'm not seeing that growth, I'm not seeing that interaction. But then, once I kind of got past it and just kept doing my own thing, then I started to see it and I was like, I'm already in that mindset of like, oh hell yeah, dude, like I'm gonna interact and comment and chat with you too because
Right.
I'm already trying to do that. But it's just getting past that hump of like, man, like keeping yourself humble with it. It's a process. Sorry, Steve, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you didn't cut me off. I mean, I think it's also too like you got to keep in mind like what that person might take. Like, okay, so one thing. No, I'm not trying to bitch this whole episode. One thing I really don't like is like the photo bombing liking shit. Like that actually drives me crazy because you're blowing my phone up, dude. And like, I don't like that stuff. Like I used to do it when I first started. That was something I did too. I would go through and like somebody's every single photo, every single fucking thing that they did. Everybody did that, and then we would share it and all that shit. I don't do that, man. Like, I don't have time to do all that. That gets to be way too fucking much, dude. Because like, if you get like 5 followers in a day and 3 of them do it, dude, there's so much shit you gotta fucking do just to be like, oh, thank you so much. Like versus somebody sharing something I do, I can just message them. Hey, thanks. I really appreciate it. Because I try to do that on every single post. If somebody shares something of mine, I will say, thank you so much. That's my stick. That's like the only probably redeeming quality on social media that I have is I will say thank you if you share my shit. But I don't like the photobound shit because it'll stop my music and shit like that. Yeah, like I'm not on my phone like that either though. Like it's just not something I like.
Bro said my phone's at 5%. R.I.P.
I do want to tag on real quick something to what Muggs was saying about being humble. Something that took me a while to like kind of digest and get an understanding of is like when it comes to follows, not everybody is going to follow you back. And I think one thing to take from that is like being humble and having some humility as well, and understanding like my content is not for everyone. My content's not going to inspire everybody. My content's not going to motivate everybody. My content's not going to be interesting for everybody. So for me to follow someone and for me to get this expectation or assumption that they need to follow me back or they should follow me back is a part of like you just like
it's gonna hurt you in the long
don't
run.
take it too serious, man. It's just like it's a follow. It doesn't matter. Like if they don't see your stuff, like it's not for them, it's for you. So try not to let those things get to you. And I mean, like with what Steve is saying, like that's a really good thing. That's something that I'm a big fan about. Like if anybody shares my shit, always, thank you. I appreciate it. Like every time, always. And then one thing that always strikes me bad is when I share someone's stuff and they don't say something, which I understand. Sometimes everybody's busy. They got like, sometimes you just don't get to it. Sometimes you miss it. There's DMs where I miss somebody sharing my stuff and I forget to say thank you and the story's gone and stuff like that. Yeah. So I I also try to not take that as like rude, but it's always nice to see at least somebody like heart it, emoji it, or just, I've had people be like, hey man.
Yeah, exactly.
I've even had people say like, hey man, I missed whatever you shared or whatever you tagged me in, but what was it? And then I'll just let them know and they're like, okay, cool, thanks. So I mean, it's like just not taking it all to heart too much, or just taking, like letting it be a chip on your shoulder.
Dude, one of the worst feelings is when you DM somebody and then you go to your messages and you see it comes up as like unread, or like you're like, you like cleared your messages out at one point and then you like hit somebody up in their stories and you look and it's like this shows up unread on there and you're like, oh fuck, I am fucking such a douchebag.
Left them on red. Left them on the scene, man.
Definitely been guilty before of that. It's just forget it, or you type out the message and then you forget to hit the send button.
Come on, dude. I fucking invented that fucking excuse. Come on, dude. Don't come at me with that, dude. My first fucking girlfriend got that all the time, man.
Gaslighting? Yes, that's on the record. Flex gaslights.
Oh, dude. 100%. Are you kidding me? I was mid-20s throughout the 2000s, man. I probably was all kinds of a fucking asshole boyfriend, man.
Oh, man, stay away from him. Stay away from that guy.
I'm still gaslighting. It's 2024. I don't give a fuck.
Dating in my 20s with my trauma closer to me than a fanny pack.
This is gonna be a weird episode.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie though. Like, I guess for my experience, I think one thing I'm starting to learn is I can't respond back to every message, because now getting to this point, this isn't like the Gunpla space for me at this point right now. I think I'm still trying to transition and shift and see what my page is really gonna fall to. But it's like I'm like, oh, I appreciate it, man, thanks, or like liking the reel or whatever. And it's like, yo, bro, like if you need anything, hit me. Nah, like, whoa, take a step back there, buddy. I was just saying thank you. And I forget it's not the Gunpla community where it's like someone and me like having that same interest. I guess it is on the same level where it's like we're enjoying the same anime, but it's not to that degree where it's like I'm comfortable with it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, you get random people in your DMs trying to talk and you've never even spoke to them. It gets a little awkward after. I mean, I don't know.
I mean,
it took me a while to be like super cool with a lot of people. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Well, my like social anxiety in person, it can get kind of fucking gnarly, but like social anxiety online, like, dude, it's just as bad. And so it's like sometimes it's fucking hard to talk, and sometimes it's not, and sometimes you feel like you talk too much to people, and like
That's where I'm trying to make sure I don't go through, especially like I have my group, obviously my boys, so it's something where it's like I think we talked about as well, evolving with your social media etiquette. Like obviously we did this, like you said, Steve, we did the liking everyone's thing, posted on our story, we did that, then we evolved from it. So I guess that's one thing, is like we're obviously learning through this experience as well, because it's ever changing.
Yeah,
Well, dude,
especially with the algorithm too, man. Like I think a lot of the like etiquette's got to fall on the algorithm too. You know, I mean, commenting share. I know for a while saving was like a huge part of the algorithm, like, and that was depending on your reach and shit like that. So it's like that kind of stuff is constantly going to change, I think. So
well,
Yeah,
it's
so like,
funny.
go ahead,
Okay.
sorry.
It's funny how like Goose was saying, like it's a common courtesy to like thank somebody for sharing something, and like I thought at first with my page it was like a common courtesy to share what somebody shared.
Sure,
You know,
right.
you hit that on
Yeah.
your story, and then I realized and this isn't a shit talk or anything like that, but then I realized I'm just making people look at my same post on my story
Again.
15 times, and I was
I'm an
like,
annoying Gunpla Luke.
like I don't want to, and there's nothing wrong with doing that, because I think it's just the same kind of form of saying like thank you so much.
I'm doing it, yeah.
But then I was just like, I'm gonna privately thank them instead.
Yeah, I think it's just the way you handle it as your own, how you go about with your page.
Yeah.
This is your identity at the same time,
Yeah.
separate from your real actual life.
You showed your support for me by sharing, so I'm going to share your shared support for me. Yeah.
So make sure that you share it when I shared it, because then you got to reciprocate that. But
Yeah. And I mean, it's like, in some places, some gestures of people saying thank you or whatever, this is different. It's almost like the slang we use to like, terms of endearment and friendship and stuff like that. It's different from people to people and culture to culture. So it's just something like that,
Well, so
Yes.
like
Good, Luke.
with that engagement and stuff like that, doing it shouldn't be like the reason why, like you shouldn't do it. You shouldn't do it for the like the algorithm and stuff like that. But the thing about it is that it actually helps you algorithm wise, and it's Instagram looking. I think it was one of the recent changes was interaction within the first 30 minutes of a post.
Yep.
Is the certain amount of interaction something gets first 30 minutes of the post. And so if you are responding to people in the post, then that counts as engagement. It's not that other people have to be the thing that counts as engagement. Your comments, likes, and stuff count as engagement. And so the more that you do that, the more Instagram sees that your post is interesting because people are engaging it. And it's not bot engagement or anything like that. It's
Right.
they see you as you engage with content with people, and it counts in your community. So we are going to push your account in these communities because you are a real person, clearly, that responds and talks to other people, which gets other people talking, which means more people are using it. And so that shouldn't be the reason why people, comment and share and like and all that stuff. But it's no sweat off your back, and it also helps you or the person that you're talking to on their post.
Right.
So
And
it actually helps you if you be more engaging in the community and talk and thank people for doing those things.
Yeah, it would make sense that engagement through your content causes people to be on the app more, or it shows that you're causing that traffic to be on the app more, and therefore they're going to push you to definitely help them keep people on the app. So it only makes sense.
I can definitely say when I did shit like that on Instagram, where I was constantly sharing people's shares and stuff like that, I did have a bigger following, but it just got to be too much, man. I nuked that old account, and then I went to my ways now, and now, look at me now, guys.
Shadow Realm guy. I mean, he's the Shadow Realm boy.
I'm unfamiliar with you. Who are you?
Oh, I don't know.
Formerly known as CB. That's all we know as.
Yeah.
But I mean, even
Part of the lore.
Part of the lore. Even to piggyback off what you said, Luke, it's like you even see it now when you post, you see create a poll. it's wanting you to create that so you can say, oh, this is a discussion that we're having within there. Even when
Yeah,
you do your description, it wants you to use certain words to like spark engagement. So people are like, oh, like he's using this kind of paint. I didn't know it was this kind of acrylic or whatever the case may be. So it's there for you. I do think some people kind of like they float through Instagram. I think all of us do, and we see these big accounts and wonder like, how are they this big when you're doing your own thing in your own bubble? And I think it also comes down to your intentions. Are you doing this for yourself? Are you doing it for your group? Or what are you doing this for? Because if you're doing it with the intention of I'm going to get bigger than this X, Y, and Z, you're not going to have a fun time, and your etiquette's going to suck with it too. You're
yeah,
going to
you'll see
be
a
that guy.
decline. Yeah, you'll see a
Exactly.
decline by like when you start it because you're like, oh, I'm gonna do this because it works for my content and everything, but then you'll see a drop off over time if somebody's
Mhm.
not really like sincere about it, which
Yep.
is like the longevity of that social media etiquette. Is those people who like they do it also. Yeah, it helps their stuff, but also they like to do it because they interact with more people in the hobby, which is what some people like to do. It's basically like always going to ODO all the time.
Yeah,
You're just
Right?
interacting with
Exactly.
everybody all the
yeah.
time, which can be exhausting and everything, but that's the thing, is if you like doing it, then you like doing it. And
Well, I think too, you're gonna find better growth if you stop. Well, whatever you're doing, dude, you're gonna like as long as you're having fun with it, man. And like,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
if your goal is to like see more growth, see more engagement, you do need to be chasing trends at times. You do need to be like staying on top of that and following what the algorithm is doing and all that. And that in itself becomes a bit of a hobby. And like I
Right.
definitely did that. And like you use trending audio in your reels. You do all of these things that boosts your engagement, boosts how you get out there. But I mean, if that's not fun for you, then don't do it, dude. I
Right.
mean,
Yeah,
having
it'll burn you out quicker than probably anything else will, I would say.
for real,
Mm-hmm.
because you're just gonna get bummed if you don't see the engagement that you want to see, and
Yep.
then you're not having fun. But I'll tell you, dude, it doesn't matter whether you have 5 followers or 50K. What you're really gonna have fun with and get out of it, out of the social media, is engaging with like-minded people within this hobby, and that is
Right.
really it's about the friends that we make along the way. Is what I'm trying to say.
I've definitely seen it a few too many times of a couple of accounts being like, I'm quitting Gunpla, I'm getting out of Gunpla because this is like this or this is like that, and it typically just has to do with things of like engagement that shouldn't impact your ability to enjoy the hobby by any means. It should all be about what value you see within the hobby for yourself, and so a lot of that social media stuff really like just having the etiquette to like keep some of those, I guess, what would you call that, like insecurities or something, or just self-doubt, or just keep that
Yeah,
stuff
that's
within, because
self-doubt.
it's not somebody else's fault.
I
Mm-hmm.
saw like a reel that put it in perspective a long time ago, which it was like that, like it was a small artist account, and they were like, like followers or everything doesn't mean anything. Like you have a lot of followers or 200 followers, and then the guy was like, take me for example. I have 200 followers, but if 200 people showed up to hear me like or to see my
Mm-hmm.
artwork and or whatever, he goes, I would be fucking psyched. So like realizing how much people that actually is, you know,
That's what I say
is
with
like
every
you
episode we
know,
do. If it's
Yep.
40, if we get 40 views, I'm not like, damn, I wish it was triple digits. It's like, dude,
Right.
yeah.
could we talk in front of 40 people?
You're,
Like,
you're That's literally like a college lecture class,
Right.
Like you're literally talking
Bro,
in front of
Mm-hmm.
40 students or something like that. That's a
if
lot
I
of
had,
people.
if I had
Most
44
yeah,
people in my apartment right now, the floor would probably fucking kill me.
a house show,
I'll be
dude.
lit. I'll be
House
lit.
show.
yeah.
Let's go. Project X.
Where's the
What
rabbit?
the fuck are these goons?
Yeah.
And
Yeah, but like that's a good way to put it in perspective. It's just like if you're not in this for like just or whatever, or the engagement, everything, just think about that. Like how many you have on your list? Just like if 50 people showed up to hear you talk about Gunpla or build Gunpla, like that would be
Mm-hmm.
crazy. Well, yeah.
perspective, and it's guys. I guess it's like self-awareness and just
Yes.
being aware of those things. Because, like you said, like you don't think about it like that. And oh, I only got 100 likes, but dude, like if you had 100 people on the line and they all just got a minute to like look at your kid, like in the pictures you posted that close and stuff like that, just take the time and walk by, you'd be like, dude, that like. You're like, whoa, holy shit! That's, your mind doesn't see it like that, so it's easy
It's
for
the
us to.
scope.
Well, and
It's the scope, like
Yeah.
internet versus reality. Like on the internet, 100 likes is almost like it feels like nothing because at the end of it, like once you're on your phone and no one else is around.
Mhm.
But like if it was 100 people in person like that came and liked your thing, that would be overwhelming.
Yeah. You have a mental breakdown.
And I think that's what pushed a lot of us to go online in some ways is that like you can only show your wife or like text your friends so many times to be like, dude, look at this cool robot
Before
I
they get
built.
annoyed.
I
And
tell you, I don't care.
then they're just
Get the
like,
fuck out of my face.
cool. Anyways, this is what I'm
Sweet.
doing. But like if you go online, man, and like you get 10 likes on something, like that's 10 people that are like you like-minded and are like, yeah, dude, cool, man. And it's like
It's like when at work somebody tells you like, "Oh, you look good today." Like that's one person, and if 10 people did that, you'd be like, "Holy shit, I'm a baller."
I'm the bitch on the man.
I'm
You
Young
know?
Dimmadome. What you talking about, girl? I'm
It's
Young
usually like
Dimmadome.
saying that to somebody, like saying like, "Oh, your outfit looks great today." Like usually, like one time that will make somebody's day.
and you get that
then-
like once a year, maybe twice a year, dude.
yeah.
That's a great perspective to have, dude. Like, how many times have you been complimented on something, like, and then think about that interaction online? That's cool, man.
Yeah.
I like that. That's cool.
Gunpla Luke teaching them the minions out here. We
It's,
like to
it's,
see it.
it's just that perspective, man. You just got to think about it with a little bit different way.
I mean, one thing I gotta say though, and I'll be that guy to do it because, I don't care. Have courtesy for others, bro. Like, if you're gonna put out there that you leaving 45 times, leave, sweetheart. Just go. like, listen, like, you're not hurting me. And then don't get mad at me when I'm not interacting when you leaving again. All right? Like, I gave my little, hey, you good? I just wanted to listen. I appreciate your work. You did some killer things out there. Wish you best luck with you and your family. 2 weeks later, I get it. Yo, bro, I'm building this on live. Come through. Nah.
Not again.
Not again.
Not again, motherfucker.
How many times am I gonna do this?
Right? Listen, bro, I can't do the same dance again, bro. But I mean, I don't know. It's just like you see things like that. I feel like that's like we talked about before, but you learn to just walk away from it. You know what not to interact with. We obviously see things on people's stories and see things that float out there, and you have that choice to either comment what you want to say out there and your etiquette, whatever you want to do, or if you just, hey, it is what it is.
Keep it moving.
Now, is it really quick? I do want to say one now. Well, everybody does have different goals getting into this. Like, what your, like, at the end of the day stretch goal is. Like, I'm just doing this for this. This is just fun for me. I want to build these kids, whatever and stuff. And getting into a social media space, even though, like, sometimes you're not out here to make friends, and you'll make friends like that, and sometimes you're not out here to like make impressions or whatever, and sometimes you do. So just that self-awareness and just being aware of how things you say, even in any space you're in, can affect the people around you, and just knowing when and where are the right things to say things. We're all trying to share the space together and have fun and enjoy it, and the last thing we want to do is ever make anybody feel uncomfortable or unwelcome, just by saying things that we think might not be offensive or hurtful or whatever. So it's just being mindful and aware, and just like you said, showing some courtesy and kindness to everybody, and it would just be a better place for all of us, for sure.
And I think you'd be surprised too at what you could, if you do find yourself in those situations where somebody did make you feel uncomfortable, like casually reaching out and not trying to take offense, but trying to figure out where they're coming from with it, or just communicating. And like even within our small circles, like I know that we've a handful of times, probably more specifically me because I'm a little wuss, had been like, "Yo, man, if we could just not do that anymore, that would be awesome." And the response overwhelmingly was like, "Absolutely, man. Like, my bad, dude. Like, you'd be
Yep.
surprised how like people are just like." Oh, dude, I'm sorry. And then if they're not, dude, like, not to call out any names or anything, but like,
Gumble
I
gum.
saw one. Like, I saw somebody post something like really controversial, and I was like, dude, what the fuck? And they were just like, yeah, deal with it. And it's like, okay, cool. Then like this isn't
Right.
an account for me, and that's fucking cool. And like, and so don't take things too personally, and reach out to them. And if it isn't like something that vibes with you, then it's okay not to be a part of that. Then it's not a
Right.
big deal.
I think everybody's got their cliques and everything too, and I don't think there's anything wrong with having
It's gonna happen.
groups of friends,
it's,
dude.
it's
So,
gonna,
I mean,
it's
like,
gonna happen, and no one clique is better than the other. Like,
No.
Right.
some people do view cliques as better than the other, or better than others. And one thing that I kind of said to some people, and kind of just figured out myself, is that like I can't help myself how you feel about certain groups of people.
Uh,
That's
I
that's
guess.
that's definitely I think something you need to sort through. But the thing too, which is crazy, like it's crazy, is that those people is like a lot of cliques overlap like crazy. Like
Exactly.
you'd be a
Mm.
fool to think they didn't. And um and so like in, you're gonna interact with people who are interact with other people that you may not like. And
Yep.
so like no one clique is better than the other, but also like you're not gonna create the perfect clique out there of just people
Yeah.
who don't
No.
interact with anybody else that you don't like and things like that. And
Yeah.
that's something, if you have a problem with somebody else in a circle, then but you've got friends over there too, it's
I mean,
like
that's
it's
also
something you gotta do.
having etiquette to respect it as well. Like at the end,
Yeah.
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 you have
Other
those
people are allowed to
mutual
have friends.
Exactly.
Yeah.
yeah.
Here's a phrase for the books. As long as your cliques aren't clans, I think everything should be cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Got
Yeah, I just think there's a really bad stigma around the word cliques in the hobby.
Oh yeah.
Like, I don't think it's a bad thing. It's whenever you start, like Luke was saying, trying to promote it to be better than others and all that shit. That gets
Oh.
weird. You know what I mean? Like, that's a weird part of it. But,
And it
like, you're
honestly
going to
isn't-
gravitate towards people that,
Right.
you have the same, like, because we all share similar likes. Like, obviously, in our, vast amount of different likes, obviously, Gunpla isn't the only thing that we all enjoy. So, it's, I don't know.
I mean, you're just saying that because you're a Goonie. Of course, you're a Goonie.
It's true. Of course, I'm a Goonie.
Dude, but funny enough, man, I think like we're super eclectic. Like some days it's just like, man, how did we all link up? And like,
It was
I
me.
mean, we do
Shadow
like,
Man.
but it's like not in like a bad way or anything. But like some days you'll bring up something when it's just like, oh yeah, that sucks, and you're like, yeah, it totally sucks. I love it.
Hey,
But
listen,
yeah, no, and the cool thing is, I haven't really seen or witnessed too much of that circumstance where like one group will be like, yeah, dude, like we're better, like the Midwest
Mhm.
hobby crew or something, being like, we're the best painters, best artists out there, and like, dude, you all want to
Fuck
be
yeah.
us, you want to be like us or some shit like that. Like, nah, I mean, it's yeah.
Yeah, that's an etiquette thing too. You can't have like those type of mentalities within your clique or your clan, and you're trying to be in a space where you're like, yeah, we support everyone, but we the best. And I'm like, I don't understand how that reflects being supportive. I mean, I can understand having confidence, but just you can't say we're the best, but we support everyone, because it's like everyone should grow together. And I understand like within small segments of each personal growth is different, but like as group growth or something like that.
I mean,
yeah,
you bring up
that
a
doesn't
good
even
point
fall
though.
under.
What?
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go.
I was gonna say, that does like that even expands outside of like social media etiquette and just etiquette in general, like
Mm-hmm.
where people demonize certain groups or discords or things like that and say like these groups are really bad and everything, where these groups are toxic. And I when you think about that too, that's like you may think it's toxic behavior that people aren't putting up with your toxic behavior in a group. So like so of course, like if you are being toxic and people aren't down with that or whatever, and you're upset because they aren't giving in to like what you are like you what you are your attitude, I guess your attitude,
Right.
then that's not them being like sometimes you gotta like flip the script a little bit, be like, yo, is this like a me problem? It's not a group's problem.
Right.
And so like thinking that other groups are better than others because of things they've heard or things that have happened to them, personal experiences. It's also important, I think, to flip the script and be like, well, was I off the rails a little bit? Like, did I do something that probably wasn't maybe copacetic or something?
Talk about gaslighting.
Well, I mean, a little
Let me get a beer.
a little personal reflection never hurt anybody. Am I right?
Yeah, no,
Oh,
dude.
no, 100%. 100%.
I mean, I even wanted to piggyback off what Goose was saying. Was like you said, even like I think Luke, you said it. We all overlap in this, even in the podcast space. You know how many podcast members are a part of these groups and other cliques, and it's just like we all spam ideas to each other. We all just sit there and just kind of like, hey, like, what do you guys do? How did you guys do it? So I mean, it's just also the etiquette of how you carry yourself in the group of people that you associate with. It's sad to say, but living in New York, it's guilty by association. If you're with this group of people, it sucks to say it, but it's kind of like you get casted with them.
Gunpla and the Goonies do not share the opinions and thoughts of Grandfather Goose.
That happens a lot in I think the Gunpla world too. I've been a victim of it. I'm sure a lot of other people have been a victim of it, but maybe you guys too. That guilty by association. Guilty by association. A lot of real quick to jump on accounts for something that happened or someone they're friends with, things like that. Definitely.
Dude, I'm so glad that I was, because, dude, I'll first admit, man, like when the whole Studio G thing happened, I was like voicing my opinion hard, like all of this, and I think I've talked about it before, but then, there was like smaller accounts that were like, hey man, I'm doing that, I'm just not doing it as like a dickhead, and I was like, okay, all right, maybe I'm being too quick to judge. And so reached out to Luke, booked his class, and then now I'm DMing with him about how our poops are syncing up. And so like taking a little bit of time to not be like, oh well, he's associated with that, so they're automatically bad. Avoiding that has really helped me a ton in not just my social media etiquette, but then also like how much fun I'm having on social media too. It's been cool. Sorry to leak the DMs, man. I apologize for that, Luke.
The juiciness.
Hey, I think we should be proud, actually.
I agree.
Oh man, I mean, I did want to throw one thing in there too, since obviously Muggs, he was like, I had a learning experience. I did too. Like, I started Gunpla before I met the beautiful Goonies, and it was one of those things where I was on like another site, Twitter, RIP, beautiful thing, and it was like I was seeing all these other accounts. I'm like, why? Like, why am I not like this? Like, I should be like this. I know my shit. I do this and that, and it took a while for me to just kind of sit back and be like, well, I'm doing this for myself. Like, I do this to unpack from work and just get out of that space. And then once I started to like look at myself, I started changing my ethics around it and the way I carried my own page, and said, you know what, like, I want people to be like, at least chill, we just build together, that's my guy. And that's how I guess I'm mostly perceived now at this point, because it's just, that's how I come off. And it took a lot of self-reflection for it too, because you got to know what you're in it for. Regardless, nothing hurts with that. Even with your building skill, you look at what you did 2 years ago and you're like, I'm a completely different builder now.
That's rough, dude. It's rough looking at some of that shit, man. Dude. And I'm still not as good as I'd like to be, but goddamn, that fucking
I said talk about people with scribe lines. They'll be asking me questions about scribe lines and everything, and they'll be like, these are my first lines, like I think they're crap, and I just wanted some pointers or tips, or there'll be something we'll talk about in a session or something like that with them. And I'm like, yo, if these are your first scribe lines, like, you should see mine. Like, mine look like Saw victims, bro. Like,
Hell
Like
yeah.
my first one's like I don't share that with anybody.
Share it with me. Come on, dude. I'll pay the cheesy gordita crunch with your name on it. I want to see that.
That's a
I need
crunch.
the lore.
That's a crunch.
I need the lore,
Supreme,
dude.
at least, man.
For like so just to like put out there, I started scribing with an X-Acto knife and just that, and so like just that, and so it's bad. It was bad.
Dude, I've seen people do that though, and they do like is it a
Pico.
Pico?
Well, so like Pico
Pico
does that, but then he goes back there with a chisel. I was just using like a razor blade, basically.
Razor
doing
man.
that. And it was not good because I was like overshooting corners. Like my corners looked like a drunk person's like keyhole on a car, like where they missed. That's what mine looked like. And it was really bad. And so I told myself like it's so crazy seeing how that skill has come so far. I think just the past probably like 3 years from people starting out with pretty good line. They'll be like, "This is my first line." I'm like, "Pretty good."
You ever used to carve your initials into like park benches and trees and shit?
Yeah, that's all I learned.
I'm like, you know what? I wish I started this good. Who knows?
Well, you heard it here first. If you're looking at described lines and you're like, damn, this is dog water, this is dog poop, think about Gunpla Luke and his first
I'd say,
lines.
maybe I'll throw it out there someday. Someday I was like,
Oh, bro, you got to
that's
for
like
the
a-
class. You'd be like,
yeah, like a history,
start
like
from the bottom.
for real.
Just send it to me, and I'll just be like, I took a class with Gunpla Luke. This was my first line, and then send me something that you have off the record, and I'll post it. This is my new lines after my class.
Like it was crazy. It was crazy. I can think about it. I'm like, man, people getting scribing right now have so many like choices and so much out there. Back like I think like 3 or 4 years ago, I feel like if I typed in scribing tips on YouTube, the only thing that showed up was Ravi Plus video, and that thing was like 0 to 100 in 30 seconds. And I feel like I was like, and then the only chisel that I knew around was the BMC, and finding that online was absolutely impossible. So it was like I was like, okay, X-Acto knife it is. Let's go.
X-Acto knife it is.
And then I found this online, which people ask about all the time. They're like, "Oh, I found the Tamiya scriber online. Is it any good?" And I was like, "Well, so this is the Tamiya scriber. This is a butchering tool, man. This ain't a scriber. This ain't a
will
scriber.
hurt your kids.
Yes, this will hurt you."
I tried to use that thing. It's no bueno.
So
That's
like,
for
it was-
listening to Chiodos with.
But it was bad or bust until you could get a BMC chisel. So, yeah, it was rough on the streets 3 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago.
You lucky,
Sorry.
you lucky. All you new builders are lucky now, all right?
Yeah, you don't know how good you have it.
With your aerials and your polycaps.
Piece of shit.
About to get Boomer and Gunpla, bro.
Oh my god, before we wrap it up, did anyone want to throw in any final etiquette tips or tricks or anything you may have picked up? Anything you like to do? Any etiquette favorites of yours that you'd go do now?
Etiquette favorites.
Etiquette, you said favors or favorites?
Favorites.
So say etiquette favors. If you don't like me, just go ahead and follow me, please. Just make it easy for me. Fuck. That's the first thing. Be nice enough to do it for me.
Oh my god.
Fair enough.
Well, as long as
I
you
would like
respond to
to-
Goose, you're happy. He's happy.
I think we briefly brought this up and we didn't get to touch on it too much, but I would like to find a place where we get more comfortable with criticisms.
Yeah.
It's a bit of it's not an easy road to take, and it can go south pretty quick. But I think every now and again, opening ourselves up to criticisms, asking for that, because that's the big thing. Unsolicited criticism can hit different.
Right. Yeah.
But not being afraid of criticism, I think that's something that we could work on. But and that's a tough thing. So it's not like something that it's going to happen overnight.
No,
I
I
think
understand that. Question?
I think with criticism too is like, if you're asking for criticism, get it from somebody with a for sure better understanding of a skill, and not just asking opening an entire forum or post for criticism, because you're going to get people on there that probably don't know what the fuck they're even talking about. So go to somebody with knowledge on something if you're looking for criticism on something. Like, I'll ask Luke, like, hey, how does this look? You know what I mean? When I'm trying to do some color separation or something like that, I'll DM him like, hey, what do you think of this? Or like, I'll bounce it off of him because I know he's got a better understanding of it. And I'm still trying to learn it. So it's like whenever you're going to get criticism, go to somebody that you know knows about that subject. You know what I mean? I guess, and they'll be on. I think most people are going to be honest with you. So
That's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, a lot of people are very, I think, excited that you would ask them for criticism. Like, I've asked some people for criticism that I look up to that have given me great feedback, and like they'll be like, right, I appreciate you, like seeing me as somebody that can give you
Right.
give you some guidance. And so like some people would like it it's, I guess, nice to be thought of as somebody that could help somebody. So, and most people, like you said, are very willing to give feedback back. So I definitely think that if you don't want to open like a post up to criticism, but maybe DM it to somebody, like I'm sure Chopper Five gets tired of me being in his DMs because I always, after I usually finish a build, I ask him to review it and everything. He's very kind and gives me great feedback because I look up to him a lot. And so definitely if you're looking for criticism, reach out to somebody and be like, hey, would you have time to review something for me? Because I'm sure people would gladly do so that you thought about them to be able to do that.
I mean, honestly though, and I also wanted to say it too. It's like, it's also the way people like say things. Like Muggs was like, "Hey, can I give you my opinion on like a pose or something like that?" And I was like, "Yeah, 100%," because it's also coming from a different like perspective. You're not gonna see it from your point of view all the time. It's always good to get it from someone else.
Yeah,
agree.
outside of pain, stuff like
But
that.
we can also do the Goonies Gunpla roast. You know what I mean? I'll put my kits up there,
Mhm.
unscribed, unpainted, for the world to see. Roast me, baby. I don't care. But
Oh, yes.
anything else, boys, before we get up out of here? I know Luke wants his cheesy gordita crunches. I know I want some things getting cold. Goose doesn't believe in refrigerated Taco Bell, so you gotta eat them in one bite,
No,
baby. All
bro,
right?
you gotta eat
Whatever.
them
Me,
in mugs. Hold on, don't leave
actually,
mugs out.
I'm
Don't single
actually
me
on
out.
that same page too. I
Spread my
think
name in the
refrigerated
streets.
Taco Bell is
Okay.
a sin.
Kick these guys off the fucking podcast.
Don't worry. See, we already won the poll, bro. We already won
Wait,
the
wait,
poll.
wait, wait. Luke's with us?
Yeah, Luke's with y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah! Fresh Taco Bell gang, let's go, baby.
Don't worry.
For-
This will be the last episode for him. You will never have to think. There's no three-peat. There's no three-peat for Luke. Thank you.
You lost out on a lot of cheesy gordita crunches, my friend.
My
got
God,
you.
You
like
can
I said.
catch Goose, Luke, and I on the Fresh podcast.
yeah, the
Fresh
TV
Gunpla
Fresh
podcast.
podcast. Yeah, where we'll have fresh Taco Bell on air.
Yeah, it's Limasi Fresco. That's what it's
It's
called.
We're gonna be drowning in that mild sauce, boys.
That fire too hot for you.
Oh God. Without further ado, I want to go to Luke first. Luke, thank you. And where can people find you at, bro? Where can they follow your social medias?
Yeah, thanks for having me back on, and you can just find me at Gunpla_Luke. It's not really a brain buster. Online on Instagram, so that's all. That's the only place I'm at. So yeah.
If you see a Twitter, that's fake. If
Yeah,
see
if you
a
think
TikTok,
any other
it's
social
fake.
media is fake.
Listen,
It's
guys, I've
fake.
been trying to sell his clips on Twitter. Stop. Fuck. You guys are fucking me up. Fucking up my side hustle.
All right, new Gunpla Luke. Oh, I mean, Steve, you next. Drop where they can find you at.
You can find me at XXL_new type on Instagram, and that's the only goddamn place you could find me.
For further updates, we'll keep you posted.
And the federal watch list.
Yeah, for tax evasion.
Oh, Jesus. Hell yeah, baby. You ain't ever gonna catch me, bitch.
How they gonna catch me if I never filed?
Yeah, baby.
Goose, bro,
What?
where can people find you getting loose at?
You can catch me snipping and snapping up custom Gunpla builds over at Hey Grandfather Goose on Instagram, or follow my work in progress page if you're blocked on that one at 3xg underscore WIP. Grandfather Goose's work in progress page.
Oh god, that's perfect. Mugs, tell them where you at, bro.
Oh, just meanmug underscore Gunpla.
Wompla. And you can find me at Plastic Princess R Us, where you can buy me all the plastic robots that I want to pose. Also, you find me at Gunpla Goon, right? That's me, yeah, Gunpla Goon. And follow Gunpla and the Goonies, though. That's the main thing. We want you guys to follow us and tell us what you rate your social media etiquette. So, without further ado, I bid you a ooh woo, and we'll find you in the next episode. Bye bye.
Like and subscribe.
I do want to say, I do like how you had to come at me with 5 Gundam wingsuits in your hand, because there aren't 5 G Gundam suits sold in your
Oh
hand.
my
So-
god, it rates
Fuck.
suck.
On the
Love
next
you.
episode, it gets
Bye.
spicy.
Yeah.